Welcome to Sharing My Truth with Mel and Susie, the uncensored version, where we bear it all.
We do. And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sharing My Truth Pod. You're here with Mel and Susie, and we are so excited to be here with you today. Please give this little podcast a 5-star review, subscribe to wherever you're listening, and you can go to sharemytruth.com, share your truth with us. You can also find us on all the socials at Share My Truth Pod. You can go to YouTube, watch us there. Hey, what's happening?
Oh my God.
See how adorable we are, obviously. And yeah, just don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Hey, babes.
Hello, darling.
Darling, how are you today?
I'm just fantastic.
We've had a little bit of Reno. Not too much.
No,
but just
very
a little
reasonable
bit.
European amount.
And
I'm European, I can say that.
She's a
It's
European.
allowed.
I am
Not a European.
not a European. But that's okay. I can pretend.
You can if you like.
I can pretend. I
Yeah.
can fit in very well, unless you hear me speak, and then
It's problematic.
It's problematic.
Yeah.
Okay. So today's episode.
Yes.
What are we talking about, Val?
It's about, does size matter?
Yes.
And we know what we're talking about. We're talking about the male appendage.
And the appendage. Yes.
The penis.
The PP.
The wee-wee.
The wee wah.
And, you know, it's just to answer the eternal male question, do us ladies, and two ladies from two different generations,
Bonjour.
bonjour,
Oh,
Buongiorno. Is it important?
Yes.
Well, I hand it over to you.
The little turtle in the shell. Here
Yes,
we come.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's important because yeah, the feeling. It's the feeling. It's like, but it's all about preference. Personally, I love the look of a good one, a big one.
You do.
I love the feel of a big one.
Fair enough.
But it's all about preference. Sometimes girls, women, you know, they don't need or want a big one because
Well,
it
what's
hurts.
too big?
That's a good question.
In
I
its
feel
Turtle stage. And
so
in
turtle
its...
stage does not matter, obviously.
Okay.
Showers, who cares? Growers, who cares?
Do you
know,
think women
the
actually...
end result is what you're looking for.
Wow. Do you think there are women who do care about the before bit?
I'm sure there are women who have. Are you talking men or women? Women?
Women who care about men,
Yeah, I
like
don't
what
think-
it looks in its before stage.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's possible that women do care, that they like showers and not just growers.
Well, I think maybe in clothing, and sometimes you see men out and about, and you're like, "Wow, that is a little too
Yeah,
much."
I love it.
You need to, you need to tuck that away. There's too much going on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. I think it does take a certain kind of woman to also enjoy and know what to do with a big one.
Really, what's a certain kind of woman?
Just a woman who appreciates one. If you don't appreciate it, then it's not. You're not gonna know what to do with it.
Well,
as
how
much.
big are we talking? Susie?
Okay, so that's what we're getting to, right? So what do we say? The average penis size.
Well, you asked me just before we looked it up.
Yes.
You said to me, "What do you think the average is?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I'd say the average man, Mr.
Mr.
Joe
Willie Cock.
Schmo- well, exactly. I say erect is 5 to 6 inches. I'd say
Yeah.
that is very good. That's it. That's
That's the standard.
and that's the standard. And I'd say many men are below that.
Yeah.
And some men are above that.
Yeah.
So even though that's actually the standard, I'd say that's what I said to you. And then we looked it up and it was 6 inches.
Yeah, I'd say
But that
6
was
inches is fine. I think it also depends on the girth.
the girth.
You need
yes.
a nice bit of girth.
Yes.
in there.
Okay. Fair enough.
But
If
I
it's
mean,
skinny and long.
no, I don't like skinny and long. It's not my thing.
I can't. I mean, it's been so long, but I don't remember
I
skinny
need a
and long.
nice girth on that. Yeah, full 2 hands. But yeah, no, like 6 inches is great.
Yeah.
A
Does-
little larger than average. I like. Maybe
So
even
you're-
7. 7 could be nice. 8 is a bit much.
Well, yeah, you're not a big woman. Where does it go?
Where does it go? That's what the
I mean,
mystery is.
That's another where does it go?
Where does it go? It doesn't fit.
I mean, that's problematic, isn't it?
Just like physically.
When you see really tall men and you just assume
Mm-hmm.
their penis is enormous with tiny women, you're just like, God, the first thought that comes to my head, where does it go? There's a guy who's a famous NFL player or something like that. Some wrestler, something. He's massive, like humongous guy. And his girlfriend is literally like your size.
Yeah.
And there was a picture of them somewhere the other day. And that's the first thought that came to my head. Where does it go?
But here's the thing. So I actually slept with a CFL player. So not as fancy.
Oh, right.
Not as fancy. But I remember big guy. Okay.
Does that mean big?
Let me get there. Okay. So big guy, obviously way taller than me, maybe like 6'5" blonde, really cute, buff. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking sleep with this guy tonight. You know. Met him at the bar, and his penis was so small.
Isn't that interesting?
It was so small. I laughed at it.
Oh no, I did,
but I didn't mean to. It just came out because it's the contrast. It's like I couldn't believe it.
Small in all ways.
Small,
turtle and non-turtle.
Like it could have been a micro.
Well, how? Oh God.
It could have been. It was could have been a micro.
How small was it?
Smaller than 4. Smaller than 4.
Oh Lord.
Smaller than 4. Yeah.
And this man was like 6'5".
It was very tall. That's why it was funny. I wasn't laughing at him, but it was just the contrast of the situation. I was like, how could this come from you? You're huge.
I think the growth went elsewhere.
It was very upsetting to me. He did get me off in other ways, but
well,
I never slept with him again.
It's very nice of him.
So that's why I know for me that size matters.
Okay. So you're looking
Personal
at
experiences.
a 7 or an 8.
I like a 7 or an 8. And even a nice 6er will do it well.
Yes.
If you know what to do with that, it's nice.
I mean, I think that's
even a good 5. You guys know what to fucking do with that? That's great. But it just needs to be. And you know what, guys? If you don't have.
Yes. What do you do if you don't have it?
You got to make it up in other ways.
Do you get one of those pumps and they make it bigger? I don't think they do.
So. No, I don't think. I think it's bad for you, isn't it?
I have no idea. They did have one in. What's the new Sex and the City called? In the new show.
Like that.
Yeah. There was a guy who had a pump. But is that maybe to help you get an erection? Maybe that's not to help.
I really don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. But you can have an operation, can't you?
Don't tell men to have an operation.
No, I'm not telling people to do that, but I'm just saying I'm curious.
There's no fucking way you can have an operation on your literal penis and it be the same.
I mean, it sounds
if not,
terrible.
Like, there's no way it's
Please
gonna be
don't
better.
do that.
But
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like, get good at making the girl or guy come
100%
in other ways that doesn't involve you're down there's.
You're down there.
You're down there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. I mean, I don't think this affects. I don't know you, but maybe you know more than I do because I've not, been in the dating pool for a very long time, 25 years. So I can't really remember. It's in the misty past. But would you say, on average, men are in a sort of good to upper range or good to lower range?
I've seen way more good dicks than I have bad dicks.
Okay, well, there you go.
So, gentlemen, maybe you don't think your dick is that good. Maybe it is. You're going to find your little Cinderella, and she is going to fit that dick like a glove.
Yes. Exactly. And if you know what to do and all the rest of it. So I think it matters to a point. If it is really small.
It's never mattered to you?
I've never really seen a really small one.
But do you need a good one?
Well, I only have one currently.
I know, but when you were dating and you were sleeping around, slutty little Mel and Patty.
Well, I'd say I've never come across a small one.
Right. So you're kind of just expecting the average and totally fine with that.
I don't think I gave it as much thought as you do.
Yeah.
To be fair.
It's probably one of the first, if I'm going on a date with a guy, because you can't tell from photos. You know what I mean? You really don't know what you're getting yourself into until you meet them and you see their energy.
Yeah.
And then you also are kind of you're like, am I gonna...
Can you tell from the man?
You can tell sometimes from the man.
Really?
And then you can kind of be when you're starting to fool around, but you're not there yet, then you can really tell if they've got a good one or a small one. And then it's just sad when they don't have a very nice one.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably true. This is factual to say I haven't seen as many penises in the flesh as you have.
That's upsetting.
I'd say it's probably factual because I did meet my husband when I was 24.
Mhm.
I got married at 28,
Wow.
and I'm now 51. So just the stats there are not good, are
Such
they?
a mummy.
I am. The
Just a
stats are not. The stats are not good, and I don't think I thought about it really that much. I'm not sure did we think about these things. Maybe somebody did. I don't know, but I've never come across a micro. I mean, you hear about them.
Yeah, I'm telling
You
you.
do. I've
I'm
never
telling you.
come across a humongous porno one though.
Look, you don't need a porno dick.
I know friends
Those are
of mine
terrifying.
who are like, and one friend of mine, and he kind of got it out, and she's like, and she literally was like, she told me, she just went, because it was like, what
Yeah.
do I do with that?
Look, I've had a
I
couple
mean,
really big ones. I've
porno
had
level.
more huge ones than I have really itty bitty small ones. I think
Okay.
maybe those big ones are actually just more memorable.
Yeah.
But the big ones, it's difficult.
Can you get it
big,
all
big
in?
ones.
No. You sort of hang out.
Well, you actually.
I've never really thought about the
so,
logistics
ladies,
of
if
this.
you're a man, let me give some tips.
Okay,
here.
yeah, go and give some tips. Go on then. It's very useful.
If you
jumbo
are
dick
with
people.
a man who has a bigger
Member.
appendage, you have to get really lubed up. Okay,
Yeah.
just imagine you're kind of doing anal, but you're not doing anal.
Okay.
So it's like you have this tight hole that something is bigger is going to go in, and you can also train your pussy to handle it. So you can get dildos,
Giant
and things
dildos.
like that.
Okay.
That like when you're not with him, you're training your pussy to deal with
yeah,
that, and it's not so shocking, right? And you also like when you're with them
yeah.
to like warm yourself up properly. Make sure that your partner knows to warm you up, and like make sure that you're super turned on, and that you are going to be able to.
So you're talking big that way and big that way.
I'm talking big all around.
Right, sort of like a tree.
Oh, like a tree, like a trunk. Good old trunk.
And I mean, terrifying.
Yeah,
Uh,
terrifying.
and actually hard for the man because you think like a man has a big penis that's like full of pride. He's like amazing.
Yeah,
But then the reality of that is there is such a thing as too big.
yeah. There's so one of my first boyfriends
Unless you're a porn star.
that I ever had, unless you're a porn star. My first boyfriends that I ever had a pretty big dick
Mm.
for what I thought it was.
Mm.
But now I always wonder this, that if I ever slept with him again now, if I ever slept with him again now, I'm like, would I still think it was a big dick?
That's funny. It's like when
or
you
would
think
it be
about
like
things
pretty?
when you were little and you thought something was really big, but
Yeah.
it's from memory from childhood, and then you go back and you're like, what?
That really
Yeah,
wasn't as bad
that's
as I
very
thought
funny.
it was.
That's very funny.
So if you're listening, if you know who you are, and you
Yeah,
want another go
yeah.
at it.
So that basically we
Yeah.
are saying that I don't think it's as important as men create this myth in their head
Mhm.
that women. So obviously what we're saying is a decent size is important.
You just have to know what to do with your hands, your mouths,
Absolutely. 100%. But it's
everything.
not like, I think
Anything.
this idea of it has to be ginormous at all costs is just not the truth.
Mhm.
Has to be a good, decent, standard size, like anything. I mean, it's not. I mean, is it very different to boobs?
That's the thing. It's like men have preferences
Well, that's
for
true.
pussies and tits too,
They do. I know,
and that's okay.
Men,
you have to
some
have your
men
preferences.
like
huge tits,
big tetas, and some
Tetas?
men like small breasts.
100%.
And the men who like big breasts don't understand the women, the men who like small breasts,
Mhm.
and vice versa.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's just the way
Yeah.
life is, and it's good.
Yeah, and there is such a thing, I think you're right, as people sort of fitting.
Yes.
It's like an odd kind of concept, sounds sort of medieval. And they did used to say that, apparently. That's like a medieval thing. People don't fit, they can't get pregnant. But I think it's like a thing, like some people just fit and some people don't.
Yeah.
So maybe if you don't fit, then that's not the right guy.
Right.
And not actually be all that worried about
If the shoe
it.
fits.
But very good. But I don't know if you're a man, like your friend you were discussing, who has a very, very small. I don't know what you do about that. I really don't. Because
Yeah.
that is tricky. And he must get so much.
The thing about it was that I remember So the whole story, so we went home together, we fooled around a bit, but I actually like fell asleep, and like we were at his place, and then he went to bed, and then like I woke up in the morning, and I was like, okay, I can either go home, like sneak out, go home, or I can go like try to sleep with him, resume. And so I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm already here, and he was nice, like whatever, let's do our thing. And so I go wake him up, and then we, get into it, and I mean, at this point, I'm sober, but I'm like, like,
Yeah,
whatever.
Fuzzy.
And he didn't seem like he was that surprised of my reaction, if I could say that, I guess. Like, and it was interesting because he, he puts on this persona of like, I'm a big, strong man. He said some weird shit like, oh, I'm like probably the smartest guy you'll ever fuck or like to be with or something like that. It was like so weird because he like went to fucking like UCLA or something. I was like, okay, fucking cool.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, no problem. And he had this tiny dick. So what did I tell you?
It tells me lots of things.
It's memorable.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have enough time to.
I don't remember his name, but he's memorable.
Yeah, it tells me lots of things. And it can't be easy to live with. And especially you think he's a football player and they do all that sharing business and stuff. So all the other men have seen it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not going to be good, is it?
No.
And men talk. I mean, that's the thing. Straight men talk about other men's penises a lot.
Yeah.
And I've always found that fascinating.
They're obsessed with them.
They're obsessed with them, like we were just using this word, at the urinal.
The
urinals.
They're urinal.
When you're having a pee, they always have a peek, don't they?
Of course they do. You gotta look.
Which, it was so odd.
If we peed out of our tits, I would look at every tit that came up.
Really?
For sure.
Wow.
You wouldn't? You wouldn't take a peek? A little sneak peek?
No.
I feel like if you have really good ones, they're like, check this out, and you fucking do tricks with them. You wouldn't do that?
No.
Come
no,
on,
I mean,
Mel, have a little fun with your nips. Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Looking at the women's breasts. No. Well, you are bisexual, Susie. So
I know
maybe
that's true. But
it's not a really key interest of mine.
To even look, take a peek. Curiosity.
At women's boobs. I suppose if they're very large, you look. And mine are sort of quite large. So they're even larger.
You have a lot of women going after you.
I do have quite a lot of gay... What's advancements?
Lesbians.
I do.
Yes.
I do have quite a lot of that.
Great.
And
I gave in
no,
to the urge?
Wouldn't that be gay men? Oh, would I?
The lesbians.
Oh, me. No, because that's not my. It's not my thing. But it does happen, and I think that is tit driven. I'm feeling it's tit driven. It's the feminine femme thing, and it does happen a fair amount. And I was fairly clueless, and then I sort of actually, my husband realized, and then he's like, you know what's happening?
She wants to fuck you.
Oh, sometimes it's useful, but.
You like to get what you want from these women because they're going to pump your gas, aren't they? They're going to pump your gas. They're going to change your light bulbs.
Exactly. I was just telling Susie earlier, I don't change light bulbs.
Never changed the light bulb in her fucking life. Doesn't know where her gas tank is.
No,
it's incredible.
I don't do any of these things.
It doesn't open jars.
No, I can't. No, I don't. But I can actually do that. I'm very good. Look, the point of the conversation is Susie's a much more practical woman than I am.
I'm just a modern woman.
You are, yeah. Anyway,
okay.
Back on to size matters, but I think we've covered it.
I think we have to stop this because I can keep going forever.
Yeah, but I think we've sort of nobbled it, which is funny.
Nobbled.
A knob is the penis. Nobbled it.
If you guys have big dicks and you have problems, you have small dicks, you have problems. If you've seen a big or small one of you, that was a problem. You let us know. Go to ShareMyTruth.com.
Yeah.
Talk to us about it.
Yeah.
But also,
yes,
please don't send us your dick pics.
Oh, please don't.
We don't want to see those. Not unsolicited.
No.
It's actually, if you want to send us a dick pic, it's $500 a dick.
No, I really.
No one look at that.
I've got an itchy ear.
$500.
I don't. It's good. I'm good. I'm just good.
She's seen enough in her life.
I don't need to see it. I don't need to see another one. I'm sure yours is lovely, but you can keep it to yourself.
Lovely.
Susie, I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
$500?
$500 though. I would.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd rate your dick for $500.
Rate it?
Yeah, rate your dick.
Wow.
Rate
okay. Fair enough.
Anyways.
Fair dues.
Do you want to spill the tea?
Go on then.
It's spilling the tea.
Go on then.
Okay, we are spilling that tea. What do we say about when someone
Oh, yes.
who you're dating?
Yes.
This didn't happen to me, obviously. It was super regular. But what if someone on like a first, second, third, even like before 10 dates says, I love you?
I think it's somewhat concerning because I think it's a little juvenile.
Right. So they don't actually probably know what love is.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's funny because as the joke I have with my husband is it took him for bloody ever. It took him way too bloody long.
How long?
More than 6 months.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I was very annoyed about the whole thing.
And you obviously didn't say it first.
No, I'm not saying
Fuck
it first.
no. Ladies, don't say I love you first.
Right, I'm not saying
They'll never
it first.
forget it.
But no, it took him too long and he thought he was being really cool. And as he puts it, well, it worked, didn't it? I'm like, well, it's a bit excessive. I think
3 months. I think 3 months.
3 months is fine. If the relationship, you've seen a lot of each other's going fast and you're vummy, passionate and all that. But the chances are before that, you're obviously not in love with the person. You're in love with the idea of the person. So I think that's a little juvenile. You can obviously, I do think you can meet somebody and feel like, wow, meet somebody very quickly and feel blown away by them or feel that feeling. And you actually know what it is or you know where it's going. Let's put it that way. But I think saying it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pressure. And I think, it's such a long time ago for me, but I mean, obviously you have to sort of dance a little bit of a dance at the beginning, don't you?
You have to dance a dance.
Yeah, to get to know each other. And then the chances are if you've said it in date 1 or 2, you may not have slept together and that's another whole thing. And you haven't spent enough time with somebody to know what they're like and their ideas and their values and do you like them? Do you agree with them? Do you like them in social settings? I mean, you need a bit more information, don't you, really?
No, 100%. I think it's just like people get caught up in this like way of like feeling maybe they've never felt that way before because they're excited. This person is like maybe a little bit more passionate than they think about or they've experienced before. And I don't know, it just gets people excited if they've never experienced that. So
yeah.
And then they just like don't know what to do with that kind of feeling.
Yeah, and obviously mistaking lust and love is an age-old thing.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like I feel like a lot of people mistakenly they don't know it's a mistake, but like mistakenly say like I love you during sex or after sex.
Yeah,
when like the after glow.
Yeah,
and then you say and then the other person's like, oh my God, that was just sex. Are you okay?
God, it freaked me out.
Yeah, like, and then they never talk to them again. And then that person's like devastated. Yeah. So thought they were in love. But then the other person's like, that was literally just me going down on you for an hour that you've never felt that before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think
no one knows that firsthand.
I think yeah, I mean, it takes a while to get to know somebody. I definitely feel
I love you for sure.
Like as I said, my husband, I knew very early on because I'd never really felt those kind of strong emotions for anybody else.
Yeah,
because I'm hard to please.
You are. You're
I'm
hard bitch.
tricky. Yeah, I think I am. I'm a tough customer in that sense.
Tough cookie, but that's good. That's a good way to be. You know what you wanted, I think.
Oh yeah, I wasn't just falling in love with anybody. I just no.
Yeah, I think that's important.
And not that I like to caveat that I didn't in any way think I was, amazing or anything like that.
You are.
Oh, thanks. That's lovely. Nice to say. Thank you very much. But I really didn't. I still don't. And I'm old now, so it's irrelevant. But the point is, I just think
kill you.
I just think it wasn't that. It's just that I just don't give up my love or my soul or my heart or whatever it is easily. I mean, sex is a separate thing. That's separate, right? And I think you can separate those two things. And I think it's the misnomer that you can't. But it's a whole podcast in itself. But I think you have to be careful. You really do. And then what if the other person doesn't think it? I think you'd be crushed and I know. I mean, you have to go for more than 2 dinners, 3 dinners, and a couple of snogs and a bit of a fumble to know that you love
Couple of
someone.
snog?
Yeah, a snog. It's a good word, isn't it?
I love that.
A good old snog in the.
You should wait a little bit. I think even if you feel it, you shouldn't say it.
I mean, I think you probably know. Like my husband says that he knew, literally. I mean, he obviously probably said it to, like he knew when he met me that he knew.
I think that's actually a lot of guys.
I think it is.
Guys,
I
men
think it
feel it faster than women do.
I think they do, and I think like he's somebody that dated a lot of people, and he wasn't interested in relationships. And although he was very young, he seemed to manage to date an awful lot of women.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. Oh. And he wasn't interested in relationships. He was interested in the other stuff.
The sexy stuff.
And so he knew when he met somebody, okay, this is different. This is a whole different thing. So, but it still took him a long time. He thought it was very cool.
I mean, he was younger than you.
He still is. He still is. Oh my god, it's like all too much.
You just blew my fucking mind, Mel.
Yeah. Yeah, but yes, Christ. Don't say it too soon.
Don't do it, guys. Just hold it in. Even if you feel it, you feel like you want to say it, you don't. Until you're at like the 3-month mark.
Yeah, you can say a lot of nice things.
So nice.
I don't think you have to drag it out. I think you can say lots of nice things and you can be really complimentary. But love is a whole different thing. And that isn't, and people I think today are so cynical. They're way more cynical than when I was younger. I do think dating is harder. There's lots of like obstacles. And I do think you got to be careful. And if this person could be a bit nuts.
Well, you can protect your heart too. You don't want to get so heartbroken so much.
100%.
But like for me, like I say I love you to all of my friends all of the time.
Yeah, but that's a generational thing.
Yeah, but like I think that is very important. Like always saying I love you to the people who you actually like very much care about.
100%.
And even just like someone who like I've had a really great experience with, like love you, like so nice. But I think in a way that like you're trying to find a partner, it's like a bit off-putting where you're like, oh, but like I don't trust you yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's a generational thing. Obviously, for me, it's a cultural thing. I'm obviously a British ice queen, and I don't say these things lightly. I do say to my children and my husband every time I have a conversation, I love you. I say and I do it purposely because I didn't grow up with that. I didn't hear it ever from either of my parents. Ever, ever, ever. I can't even actually remember them ever saying it, actually, in my entire life.
Wow.
So I make a point of saying it because I know it goes into you if somebody doesn't say what it does to you. So I've always said it to my children all the time. And they say it. And they say it to me, every time I have a conversation. And it's not to belittle the world. It's because we really mean it.
Yeah.
And we say it all the time. And I think it's really important for them and important for my husband to hear it from me. And I mean it when I say it. If I say it a lot, it's irrelevant. But I do say it sometimes to some friends, maybe. I don't think I use it as liberally like I've heard, like my children will say it to everyone, love you. They'll have a conversation with a really close friend. They'll put the phone down and go, love you.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
What?
No.
Is it weird that I say it to you?
No, because I know where it's coming from.
But you're also like, hey, yeah, I know you do.
No, because I think it's your language.
Yeah.
And that's completely fine with me.
Yeah.
You're a millennial. You have less layers around the onion than I do.
Layers.
Cold onion. Yeah. Am I a cold onion?
No, you're just been in the drawer maybe a little too long.
Exactly. That's exactly it. That's it. Thank you. Thanks. Such a sexy image. But you find it easy. I don't find that easy.
Yeah.
I
want to bring that out.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want me to say?
Love you.
I don't know. I think
that's nice.
I think I might.
Good.
Yeah. Have I said it to you? I don't think I have.
I think you maybe have.
I might have.
And I'm like, no.
But I do genuinely.
I know, darling.
But even like my oldest friends, I don't say it.
Tight up.
We're all a bit stiff upper lip and all that bollocks. Yeah. No, we don't. Yeah. Anyway, go back to dating. We're going to finish.
Dating. Do not say I love you on the first or second date.
steady, hold it back.
Steady on.
Steady. That looks a bit boring. Just hold your
Yeah,
horses.
got it.
It's a bit too much, too soon.
It's too much. Everybody,
Pace
too
it.
much.
Pace.
Pace
is important,
good.
isn't it?
Trot along.
It's a bit like, I'm not going to say this because it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. No.
What?
No, you have to.
It's
I'll
not
cut it out if I want
It's
to.
not sexy at all. Say it.
It's a bit
Like
like
bitch.
like the winter in Canada.
Yes.
You've got to pace your goats. You can't bring out the big, serious
Got a parka.
coat in November. Otherwise, you've
layer.
got nowhere to go.
You gotta layer
You've
yourself.
got nowhere to go.
Right.
Like in February, what you're going to be wearing?
Right.
What you're going to be doing?
Don't wear out your parka in
No,
October.
It's a bit like don't give a 13-year-old a Louis Vuitton handbag
Fuck no.
because where are they going?
They're
There's
only
nowhere to go. They'll be in Chanel by the time they're 15.
and that's too much.
Pacing.
Pacing is
Pace.
important.
Yeah.
Anyways,
think
I
those
hope
are
that
good
made
enough.
sense to anyone. It definitely made sense to me. Okay. If you guys have said I love you, or you've had a love triangle, or
Yeah, we wanna know.
maybe,
Well, you're freaked out.
freaked out,
Like, what if you like the guy or the girl,
but then he just freaked you out.
and then he said, I love you, and you think, maybe I do, but I don't. This is all too soon. And then what happens?
Anyways, let us know.
Yeah, I want
We'd
to know.
love to hear from you.
We would.
We would.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast and follow us on social at Sharing My Truth Pod, and leave us a voicemail on our website at sharingmytruth.com to share your stories and experiences with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.